our final topic for tonight, and it's another recurring bit. It's overrated, underrated. We never touched this, but I think
we did a little bit back when we reviewed them, a tiny bit.
Yeah, but Tecmo Super Bowl, you can just put Tecmo Bowl with Super Bowl. Because obviously Super Bowl is just a little bit faster.
Right.
But generally, Tecmo Super Bowl, this series, because it pretty much died, even though it did have some 16-bit releases.
Right.
Is it overrated or is it underrated? For me, if I'm going with this, right off the bat, it's definitely underrated. It's the quintessential arcade football game that everyone to this day could pick up, play, and like. Whether you're a football fan or not, you can find fun with this, kind of like NBA Jam for basketball games. And the fact that it still gets modded today with modern rosters shows the kind of goddamn staying power. And unfortunately, until like NFL Blitz and some other random football games, there's no such thing as arcadey football games anymore.
Yeah,
so
for real.
this is still a viable option to go back to and have a ton of fun with. So it has to be underrated.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to play devil's advocate and say overrated, but no. Like, if I was going to say anything, I'd be a fence-sitting pussy like Brian was just now and say that it's perfectly rated. But if I had to choose, I would say underrated for the simple fact that, as we've seen with many of our video comment sections, people have an unhealthy obsession with saying that NES sports games are good, when 99% of them are not. But these are. These are the only ones that hold up. Blades of Steel and Ice Hockey are fun still. I'll give them as like the 1A. But like, if you're going to go for like, if you say pick 2 NES sports games that truly hold up from this era, from the NES era, it's going to be the 2 Tecmo Bowl games. So there's
Jim,
no way
without giving full spoilers, eventually if we do a top 10 sports list, is there any chance it's not going to be Tecmo Super Bowl at 1?
I mean, the obvious winner is going to be Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf, but number two will be one of the Tecmo Bowl games.
If we were making your list, I'm sure that there could be some validity in that. You son of a
Lee
bitch.
Trevino's Fighting. No, I mean, like the closest ones I would say for legitimately to them would be Blades of Steel, Ice Hockey, and maybe Arch Rivals, but that'll be about it.
And they're still not really close.
Oh God, someone's really pissed off about baseball stars again right now.
Oh, dude, Jim, what will happen if we do a top 10 and baseball stars is not in it?
God, just play it on the Neo Geo, you fucking dorks.
But yeah,
a great conversion for the
I thought this would be an easy answer. I know Jim really sucked at the Tecmo Bowl and Super Bowl because I whooped his ass, and he bitched about how fast it was.
Back in the day, I did prefer the original Tecmo Bowl because it wasn't as overly fast as Super Bowl.
Yeah. But still, I figured I wanted to see if there was any chance he would put over. And I love playing devil's advocate, but I really can't. There's nothing I can say.
Like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, there's not enough play selections? Like, who gives a shit? It's too fun.
Literally, that's it. It's almost too simplistic, but it's so goddamn fun that there's nothing to bitch about with that game.
Right.
So I would love if in the comments below you guys truly hate that game, let me hear it. Because obviously everyone talks about it, and that is one of those candidates for it could be considered overrated because everyone loves it. But when you actually sit down and play, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess they're justified. Fuck. So